start. Just type.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good afternoon, one and all present here. Most respected, the All India General Secretary, Dr. Pranamdar from West Bengal State University. Respected today resource person, Dr. A.S. KALYANA from Institute of Public Enterprise. Respected participants from various parts of the country. So I'm very happy to be here as the organizing committee member for organizing this kind of webinar. Really, very long back, we are all come together to see through this webinar. I hope and I believe that Indian Academic Researcher Association is one of the academic contributing association which is consistently contributing lot of research, who has organized a program in association with the Ministry of Education, Central Government, the Madan Mohan Malaviya Teaching Learning Center, DLC. He had lot of pain and strain to organize the program and also to receive the certificates. From yesterday onwards, the participants are receiving certificates. That is the soft copy of certificates from Pranamdar. The participants were so happy because this certificate is very much useful to Career Advancement Program, CAS program, for regular faculty members or even to the research scholar, which is one of the very important certificate in academic career. So on behalf of all the participants of that FDP program and also this program, I convey my sincere thanks to the Pranamdar. I know very well he has taken lot of pain for receiving certificate. Getting the certificate from the DLC is not an easy task. Even participants were misunderstand about the progress and hard work of Pranamdar as well as myself. But now they were realized how it will be difficult to receive the certificates from MHRD, because even a single mistake which will disturb the entire participants receiving certificates. So in this way, I must appreciate, I know very well his creditability and efficiency to express his efficiency in academic and research and development activities. And also recently he organized one international conference and award function in West Bengal. Really, it was very different experience. Lot of academic fraternities, people were participated in that program. Really, it was a nice program, knowledge sharing program. So why I am telling this kind of information in this forum? Because maybe some participants are new to the Indian Academic Researcher Association. They should understand what we are doing. We know from the beginning of the pandemic, we are consistently organizing lot of programs through online mode. Of course, we can also declare, we can also say we are the pioneer in webinar program, online programs during this pandemic period. Just because of some academic commitments and other formalities, we slowly organizing some programs. But hereafter, we'll be organizing lot of program in future also. Even the next month also, we plan to organize one faculty development program in associate with some universities or some reputed colleges. After that, even next week also, we are going to organize one webinar relating to the cyber security and cyber issues problems. So I hope these kind of programs will be very useful to the participants, eye-opening, whether we are implementing or we are accepting the new educational policy, national education policy, or what are the merits which is available in this national education policy, which will be conveyed to the students and research scholars. And also, we must equip ourselves according to the national education policy, because now the education, the teaching is not like a mentor-oriented teaching. Now it has been transformed into multi-dimensional aspects. A teacher should be a mentor or a student or a learner or a researcher or a philosopher or a social activist, and above all, so every day we should learn some things from be the initiator. Definitely without your welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and good evening, everybody. Very respected Paramasivam, sir. Heartfelt regards and gratitude, Kumar, sir. And every resource person, I believe everybody has its resource, Kumar, sir. And every resource person, I believe everybody has its resource. Formally, resource persons are KRISHNAKUMAR, sir, and KALYANA, sir. But participants, because the new normal phase has closed and the normal phase has started, and there was a reluctance among the participants to join. And this is the magic of Paramasivam, sir. When anybody hears the name of Paramasivam, sir, not the IARA, not the Indian Accounting Association, Tiruchirappalli branch, only the name of Paramasivam, sir, has a magic. With the reference of Paramasivam, sir, everybody joins the program. So, regarding participants, we are very confident that lots of, even the Indian Accounting Association Tiruchirappalli branch is doing a magic. That is, every month they are regularly organizing a effective program. And I am also the EC member of West Bengal branch of Indian Accounting Association. So I hear lots of things from different places. So I just share the words of the cream people in Indian Accounting Association about very good words about Tiruchirappalli branch Indian Accounting Association. That is only because of Paramasivam, sir. He took the trouble to, so that we felt that most of the trouble were released. So this type of sharing of responsibilities, pain sharing, without any ego, is the one of the facets of IARA and Indian Accounting Association Tiruchirappalli branch. And other people we are seeing, I am being introduced to KALYANA sir for the first day today, but KRISHNAKUMAR sir, I know him for many years, and Murugeshwari madam and others, Mubarak Ali sir, I can name some of them. So they are very down to earth persons. And just one thing I am sharing lastly, because today's program is different. But regarding FDB, these North Indian universities and colleges, they are very staunch. I am repeating the word staunch. They were not agreed at all to give the certificate, and they wanted two things. One is face, that is photograph of participant. Another thing is participating photograph. That is, I am participating, that evidence photograph must be given. So the participants were told. 7 annexures very rigorously done. Kollo Shah is here. He is our all West Bengal General Secretary of IAR. That is truly shared by Paramasivam sir, and at last we felt that we are relieved day before yesterday that we got the certificates. Again, the bargaining is going on for some other reasons. That is not to be told here. I will share with Paramasivam. In very near future, I have already talked to Bangalore NAC, head office Bangalore, that will be organizing one program. Sir, without your permission, I am sharing here.
No problem.
So now I am taking your permission that will be organizing one FDP of 15 days or 21 days. How to prepare for NAC category wise. There are seven categories. So we have planned at least 3 days for each category, and documentation part as a whole discussion, and the documentation part subcategory wise, so that everybody is well equipped with the preparation of NAC with his or her higher education institution. That is the need of the hour. National education policy has brought new facets both in teaching and research and documentation. Documentation and compliance. These are the buzzwords nowadays. So for compliance, you have to be ready with all the documents. So that is to be done very shortly. Now request Dr. Paramasivan sir to definitely join hands with me to officially inaugurate this today's program on national education policy and impact on education, higher education and research. And our very honorable resource persons are waiting. So I am handing it over to Dr. Paramasivan sir for the further progress of the workshop. Sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words about our programs and achievements. Really, we will do lot of things in future also for the benefit of academic and researchers. Without wasting much time, I invite Dr. A.S. KALYANA, Internship Coordinator and Assistant Professor from Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad, Telangana, to speak on National Education Policy 2020, focusing on higher education. Sir, welcome, sir. KALYANA, sir, welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. I will start, sir.
Yeah, we will start, sir.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Good evening, all of you. It's a great privilege for me to share my little knowledge regarding this NEP 2020, focusing on higher education. And this is my second lecture in IARA, association with IA Association. Previously, I had given one the lecture regarding the scopes, and this is my second one. So I feel this is the greatest privilege for me, and thank you to Mr. Professor Paramasivan sir. And according to this NEP, National Education Policy 2020, so how we are going to achieve and what are the outcomes? So these are some of the time back. So I want to discuss something about some history. So history in the sense, national 45 minutes, I will take you the global university, a small view, as well as Indian universities, a small view, and apart from that, the small, the 2 minutes other topic. So then I will take all you into the NEP 2020. NEP 2020. Right. So here, the surprise is the global universities, the oldest global universities. So this is the oldest university on the earth according to the data. And if you are coming to the one more university, there is Oxford University. Generally, the university in the sense, immediately you will be telling that Oxford University or Cambridge University, this, that. So this Oxford University, the oldest university, as per the 926 years old, located in United Kingdom and established year 1096. So this is the second one in the list. If you are coming to the next university, University of Salem, this is 888 years old. And it is located in the Spain and established in 1134th year. The next place goes to the University of Paris, 862 years old, located in France, established in 1160. This is what the record is mentioning. So here we can see different kinds of courses, different types of methodology, different kinds of the pedagogy. So these are the plus points of these universities. And if you are coming to the next place, coming to the university, next university is 800 years old, University of Padua, and this one is located in Italy. If you are coming to the next one, the Nepalese University is 798 years and established in 1224th year. The next one comes to University of Siena, it's 782 years old. So located in Italy. See, all these are the small look, right? The Indian universities. See, so this one is the Senate of Samford University, located in West Bengal, established 1880. The university status given in the year of 1829. The age is 201 year. 201 year. The next one is University of Calcutta, West Bengal location, established 24th January 1857 and 162 years old. The third place goes to University of Mumbai, Maharashtra, 1857. Its age is 162 years old. The next one goes to University of Madras, Tamil Nadu, established 1857. The age is 162 years. Of course, if you are coming to other universities, all are 118, 119, 20, like that. So many other universities also in India. The next place, Aligarh University, 144 years old, Uttar Pradesh location, and Punjab University, the Chandigarh, 137 years old, established 1882. And Allahabad University, Uttar Pradesh, 132 years old, established 1887. One more university, Banaras Hindu University, Uttar Pradesh, established 1916, 103 years old. So these are all some of the ages of universities located in India. Right. So what is the surprise in these? Nothing is a surprise, right? We have some old universities, of course, 100 university, 130 years old, 132, 144. It's a hundreds only, right? So this is the ages of the universities in India. But you know, one thing, we have oldest universities in the ancient history. Let us see that the India is a home. In the historical data, it is saying that India is a home to numerous ancient universities spread across her length and breadth. Students from across the world came and studied in these learning centers. Here are a few ancient universities of India rediscovered. What is that? Rediscovered through evacuations. And as standing structures, more evacuation will lead to more discoveries of our glorious past. The first one goes to that Taxalia, that Taxila University. What is the year? 600 BC. 600 BC before Christ, up to 500 AD after death. So you just see the timeline, 600 BC. So where is the 100, otherwise 800 years old of the Oxford University? Where is the Taxila University, 600 BC? So such an ancient universities also having the history in our Indian history. So this is located in Pakistan because the previously before freedom, the Taxila University, that area, Rawalpindi also the part of India, right? So its location is Rawalpindi area. So this is the remainings of the university, Taxila University. You see, there is no structure, only some debris, kind of the things only are remaining. So with the help of evacuations, only we came to know this. This is the Taxila University. You see, and another one is Nalanda University, 425 AD, and up to 1205 AD. So Madana is an ancient Indian kingdom in the southern Bihar. Its location was the Bihar location. So here also the variety of courses, variety of the faculties, and different countries, many other countries, people also came here to get the admissions to complete their courses. Only 20% of the students only got the course, the admission. Around 8 to 850 students only, around 8 to 9,000 people only got the admission, but that admission also given only to the 20% of the students. You just imagine 40,000 people tried to get the admission, but only 8,000 to 8.5 thousand people only got the admission. That is what he is mentioning in the documentation. 20% of the students who applied got the admissions in the Nalanda University. Then what happened these universities? It was up to 1205 AD, right? So after that, you can notice one more thing. 1,500 teachers also is there in the university, right? So if you are coming to, so here also we can see only the remaining parts of the university. If you are coming to the next one more university, Vikramshila University, 800 AD up to 1203 AD. Indian state of 03. What is that fate? We can find it in the history, but of course, it's gone, right? Something happened because of the rivalry or some other, the kingdom, fightings, all those things. But finally, we lost that university. The same way, Vikramshila also went in the history in the year of 1203 AD. So this is also one of the university. And one more university, Vallabhi. We lost many of the universities into the history because of something. Some vandalism happened because of the one famous American writer, Mark Twain. He mentioned that India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, great words, documentation. So this was our the educational history in our the global history. You just see the caption, Ancient Universities of India from 3,600 plus years. It's not specific, 3,600 plus years. So that was our history. That is our history, right? So now what we are going to do, so as part of these only, even in the NEP 2020 also we can see mentioning these universities in 10th point. In 10th point we can notice these universities also. So we are trying to get all these, the glory back to the generation. So that is what the intention. So to do this, we are taking various measures through government. NEP 2020 also, one other part of that. So this is the backdrop of the NEP 2020. Now see, the one more thing, what is the very cruel steps taken by somebody, some mates, onto our education institutions because they wanted to root out the growth. Nelson Mandela's words also, you see, it is giving the answer. Destroying any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs. And this is the backdrop of the NEP 2020. So here, India also had taken the many measures step by step. The University Education Commission constituted in 1948 to 49. The Secondary Education Commission also constituted in 1952 to 53, and Education Commission 64 to 66 under Dr. Kothari, and the National Policy of Education 68. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment 76, Education in Concurrent List, and National Policy of Education NPE 1986, and NPE 1986 modified version in 1992. And TSR Subramaniam Committee Report 27 May 2016. Later, now the latest one is Dr.K Kasturangam Committee Report 31st May 2019. So now we are going to see Dr. K Kasturangam Committee Report NEP 2020. So this is the backdrop of NEP 2020. Here, the Union Cabinet of India on 29th July 2020 approved the Kasturarangan's report and the new education system. It is the new policy replaces the previous one. National Policy of Education 1986 is a replacement. The policy that claims that transform Indian education system by 2040. So this is the aim of the NEP 2020. So here the vision, the national education policy envision and education system rooted in India ethos that contributes directly to transform India. That is Bharat sustainability into the equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all and thereby making India a global knowledge superpower. So this is the vision of NEP 2022. So with this vision, they constructed NEP 2020 document in 4 phases. The phases of NEP 2022. For these 4 phases, they are targeting, they fix some timelinings. So accordingly, they are proceeding one by one. So if you are coming to the part 1, I won't take much more system on the part 1 because our focusing is the part 2. So here the part 1 is early childhood care and education, the foundation of the learning. The second point, the foundation literacy and numeracy. And the third point is curtailing dropout rates and ensuring universal access to the education at all levels. The fourth point is curriculum and pedagogy in schools. And the fifth one is the teachers. And the next point is equitable and inclusive education. And next point is efficient resourcing and effective governance through schools, complexes and clusters. And the eighth point is standard setting and accreditation for school education. So these are the 8 points. Within these 8 points, they are going to cover all the requirement for the school education system. The second part is the higher education. So in this, the quality universities and colleges. So this is the first point of the higher education. We will discuss one by one. The 10th one, next point, faculty, equity and inclusion in education, higher education, the teacher education. The 16th point is reimagining the vocational education, catalyzing quality academic research in all fields through a new national research foundation, transforming and regulatory system of higher education, effective governance are not thoroughly addressed. The third point is other key areas of focus. the professional education, adult education, lifelong learning, the technology use of and the integration, online and digital education, ensuring the equitable use of the technology. So these are some other points given in the other key areas of focus. And the last one is the making it happen. So how to enforce the strengthening the central advisory board of the education, the financing, affordable, and the quality education for all, implementation, list of the observation. So as per the document, some observation. So these are the four phases, four parts of the document. Right, achieving full human potential, developing and equitable and just society, and promoting national development. So any the country neglecting education, definitely we can say that that country won't come up. The providing quality education, not only the education, that should be the quality education, is a key to India's continued ascent. The leadership of the global stage in terms of economic growth, social justice, and the equality, scientific advancement, national integration, and cultural preservation. India will have the highest population of young people in the world over the next decade, and our ability to provide high quality education opportunities to them, it will determine the future of our country. With the various dramatic scientific and technological advances, such as the rise of big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, many unskilled jobs worldwide may be taken over by the machines, while the need a skilled workforce, particularly involving mathematics, computer science, and data science, in conjunction with the multidisciplinary abilities across the sciences, so their own methods, their own framework. So it's a severely fragmented. We are not having only one system for the educational system. Inadequate emphasis on the development, the cognitive skills, and learning outcomes. So there is no connectivity. Everybody having their own setup, and rigid separation of disciplines. In the early age itself, we are dividing the students into some civil mechanical, or some electrical, or computer science, or arts, science. We are dividing the children before understanding where they are going. So it's a rigid separation in the early specialization, and streaming the students into the narrow areas. So once the elective given, they cannot change even after some time, right? Moving towards without knowing the destination. The limited access, particularly it's a socio-economically disadvantaged areas, with a few higher educational institutions that teach in local languages. So because of the socio-economically disadvantaged areas, they don't have any beyond their strength. So some setup, otherwise some supporting mechanism also the missing. Forcefully they are limited by the giving access. The limited teacher and the institutional autonomy. The limited teacher, they cannot afford the more knowledgeable teachers because of the various other criteria, various measures, various mechanisms, various frameworks. So that also some of the flaws. Inadequate mechanism for merit-based career management and the progression of faculty and institutional leaders. Because of these mechanisms, they cannot promote the faculties. There is no encouragement given to the faculties. There is no facilities to develop their knowledge to the faculties. So these are also some of the inadequate mechanisms, and lesser emphasis on research. So even they don't have any that kind of encouragement, then how do they think about the research? Definitely no. They don't know how to start or research also, right? So within that given very limited area, they will be revolving and they cannot come out. So that is their the mechanism. Otherwise, the time frame, right? Otherwise, they are what is that mechanism? The most universities and colleges and lack of competitive the peer-reviewed research funding across disciplines. The many other colleges are simply doing some educational services. They are not knowing how extent they can elaborate, how extent they can go beyond that. What is their limitations, right? So there is no mentoring. Otherwise, there is no guidelines, proper guidelines, because of various the limitation and suboptimal the governance and leadership. The same way, and ineffective regulatory system. So these are also some of the flaws, otherwise the missing links, and the large affiliating universities resulting in the low standards of undergraduate education. So these are also some of the problematic areas, or simply we can say these are the missing links right? So these are the major problems currently we are facing in the higher education system in India. And if you are coming to how we can overcome, is there any solutions? Is there any alternate? Is there any thought process to come out these things? So we can say multidisciplinary universities and colleges, the faculty and institutional autonomy, a national research foundation. So these are some of the points. So if you are looking at these points, this policy envisions a complete renovate, a re-energizing of the higher education system to overcome these challenges and thereby deliver high quality higher education. So with equity and inclusion, the policy's vision includes the following key changes to the current system. So if you are addressing one by one, move towards the higher education system consisting of the large multidisciplinary universities and colleges. Multidisciplinary university in the sense we can give more scope to opt the electives, right? So early electives choosing, instead of that we can give multi-level the courses so that they can choose their subject without any restrictions. So such a way we have to give the more multidisciplinary universities as well as the colleges. So this is also one other point. And shift to the more disciplinary undergraduate education. Of course, in the college level also we should be able to give gated, highly qualified the faculty members so that we can elaborate, we can extend the quality of what we are feeding to the students. The bring in faculty and institutional autonomy and revamp the curriculum, the pedagogy, assessment, and student support for. Even if you are looking at the Nalanda also having the great. Anybody wanted to speak? Curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, as well as student support ecosystem. So even if you are looking at the Nalanda also having some entrance test. So way back 3,600 years back, Nalanda University maintained the entrance test to give the admission. So that is our history. And here also we are telling that assessment method we can decide according to the flexibility. And that should be one. It should be light, but it should be tight. So that is what we are telling. And the institutional leadership position through the merit appointment. So based on the merits, we have to give the opportunity to establish the National Research Foundation to fund outstanding peer-reviewed research. So this is also one of the key points so that we can encourage the research by giving the facilities to the research-minded the faculty members also, and govern the higher education institutions through highly qualified independent boards having academic as well and administrative autonomy. Implement the light but the tight regulation by the single regulatory for higher education. The effect increased access, equity, and inclusion through range of measures and online education or open distance learning also can be established in the colleges as well as the multidisciplinary universities. All infrastructures and the learning materials to be accessible and well capabilities. So these are some of the points so that we can overcome the higher education. We discussed that the 11 points. So in that 11 points, if you are looking at the quality universities and colleges, that is the one point. So we have to establish the quality universities as well as the colleges, and institutional restructuring and consolidation also can be done. The institutional restructuring and consolidation, they are very much emphasizing that they literally mention the Takshashila, Nalanda, and Vikramshila. So these universities also they mentioned in their restructuring. So they are taking as the base of those universities, and they wanted to bring back in the new trend towards more holistic and multidisciplinary education also can be enhanced. So this is what they are emphasizing. The motivated point of view, we can motivate the students as well as we can motivate the faculties, we can motivate the colleges. So this is how the motivation level are energizing capable faculties, also emphasizing in the fourth, and the availability also should be given in the proper way. That is the equality and inclusions, the different kinds of culture, different kind of 64 arts. We are telling 64 arts. Not only that, the more than that also we can include as opposed.
Sir, I have one question. I mean,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you in between, but I think this is the very right time where I ask this question, sir. So as we are talking about NFT launch and talk about it multidisciplinary. But my question is, so, for example, a student want to go and join Navy or Army. They are very particular about the streams. They are very particular about the subject. So their
Okay.
criteria are going to be changed. Number one. Number two. So previously we don't have any obligations. पहले we don't like this कि it is written somewhere कि if we did for example 12th में we are taking math science and many students come out of the school and join commerce and many come join BA. So there is no written guidelines कि we can't shift the stream. So what I mean what is new in this?
Actually, yes, I got your question. You are asking about how the students can take
Yes,
the RB defense type, otherwise some other commerce course, isn't it?
100% right.
Right. So these courses, based on their interest, they can take the courses. For example, the credit-based system also introduced. Credit-based system also introduced. So as per their interest, they can choose the course. We are not telling that only BCom students should take only these courses. Commerce students only this one. MPC in the sense only these courses. No. So they can choose according to their interest. Those courses also can be taken if it is applicable as per the degree, as per the course. They can choose. And moreover, these course also they are telling that the 4 years course. The 4 years course in the sense in that if you are completing first year, the certificate will be given as a certificate course. If you are completing the second year, the course will be the diploma course. If you are finishing the third year, then that will be counted as the undergraduate course. If you are completing the fourth one, research also will be included. So directly you can admit into the PhD. So this is what they are telling. And the course point of view, according to your interest, you can choose the course. So that is how the NEP 2020 is mentioning.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, right. And apart from that, the vocational course also, they are telling they will be starting the vocational course, the carpentry, otherwise embroidery, otherwise electrical course. Those courses also not mentioning as a vocational course. That also part and parcel of the degree course, part of the education course. So that also will be part and part of partial part of the education. So that we need not think otherwise we need and the students taken the vocational course also need not demotivated that this is a different course because they're not doing education well. We are telling that we are thinking that they will be taking the vocational. But as per the NEP 2020, they mentioning that vocational course is not the different one. That also part of the normal course. So everyone supposed to have at least one skill as the vocational as part of the vocational part. So this is how and the course curriculum also mingled with multidisciplinary education system. So that is why it's a the great opportunity for the learners. Okay, ma'am. Right. And the equity and inclusion for higher education and a teacher education. So here the CIS also, as per the education, as per the research work, as per their the interest, equality from all group of faculty members also should have the equal opportunity. So that also will be that also addressed in the teacher education. And so what are the senior students, senior faculties as well as junior faculties? So that also addressed here. As per their seniority level, their availability, their plus points or credits also will be given to the senior faculties as well as junior faculties. For their upliftment, opportunities also will be given to the junior faculties. So this is how they are balancing the juniors as well as senior faculty levels. The remaining vocational education, as we discussed, the vocational level not is going to be considered as a separate course. This is also mingled with the normal stream of the courses. So every student is supposed to get at least one skill from the vocational, anything. It may be a driving, it may be electrical, or it may be carpentry, just like that, right? So that what they are insisting that thought process, because we should not, that is what it is mentioned in the reimagining, because we have some thought process in our mind saying that vocational course in the sense that is not up to that. Right. If the students are not performing well, those students around 50 to 60% of the students done with the vocational course. If you are coming to South Korea or some country, 96% of the students have taken the vocational course. If you're coming to America, US, they have taken 55% of the people, the students completed, they have taken the vocational. But if you're coming to India, less than 5%. That is a pathetic condition. Why it is? Because our mindset is saying that the students generally won't go to college for learning the carpentry. If he is doing that, we have some mindset. Accordingly, we will be measuring the students' caliber. That is a bad mindset. So that is what here they are addressing. So that what they are doing, they are mixing up. And moreover, why it is failed, that also a serious point we have to think about. If you are taking a vocational course, what is the next step? Are we giving the clear pathway for the development of the vocational course taken students? No. As if no, according to the present situation, if the students are taking electrical or otherwise carpentry or some other thing, we are not giving a clear pathway for the professional career. So that also one of the minus point for not going beyond the 5% of the vocational takers. So of course, so that also one of the gray area, and the catalyzing quality academic research in all fields through the new National Research Foundation. Of course, our colleague, one more colleague, will be discussing this elaborately. The transforming regulatory system in higher education. So in higher education, the transforming regulatory system also, they are coining that it's a single window, single point. Within the single touch point, single point, all the regulatory mechanisms are supposed to be there. The Higher Education Commission of India, HECI, that is a one touch point. According in that, the four separate pillars, we can say, one is for regulatory, that is a National Higher Education Regulatory Commission, that is just for the regulation purpose, and another one is for the standards and settings, that is the General Education Council, and the third one is Higher Educational, the Grants Council, that is only for the funding agency, and another one is the National Accreditation Council, that is a NAC. So these are the four pillars. The four pillars works under one roof, that is Higher Education Commission of India, HECI. So with the help of the HECI, all these four department verticals will be doing their contribution to make the system vibrant and strong. So that will be discussed in the transforming the regulatory system of higher education. Apart from that, efficient, effective governance and leadership of HE institutions, all the institutions supposed to have the body of governance in a qualified people, not for the family, otherwise some other without qualification. So qualified mindset student, qualified mindset people supposed to be there in the board of governance. So that is not the implementation. Otherwise, the suggestions given by the effective governance and leadership of HE. So with these points, I guess I covered all the points. Of course, for the school education, this is what school education mechanism. So 5 years. The previous one was 10 plus 2 plus 1 year. But right now, according to the NEP, we can say 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. The 5 years is a fundamental. The next 3 years is the preparatory, and the next is a middle, and the last 4 years is the secondary. And here, and one more, the degree, anytime we can enter, anytime we can exit. You need not complete all 3 years degree course in one strike. You can complete the 1 year, you can the second year. So that also one of the advantage. So n number of entry, n number of exits also can be done to complete the 4 years course. Right. So if you want to do the PhD, you should have the 4 years course. The 4 years in the sense, the 3 years degree course as well as the research also combined inbuilt of the 4th year. So if you are completing this directly, you can get the admission in the PhD course. So that also one of the facilities given here. And the MPhil course already they deactivated. There is no the MPhil as per the NEP 2020. And this is already we discussed. And so these are the universities, 3 types of universities as per the NEP 2020: research university, teaching universities, and autonomous colleges or universities. So this is the 3 types of universities only will be functioning as per the NEP 2020. And there won't be any deemed universities or some other names. Only university will be given as per their credits, otherwise as per their criteria and the performance. The university grade will be given to the institutions. So these points also we already discussed, and our major, as per the 2020, the NEP 2020, they wanted to see 50% grads enrollment ratio in 2035. As per now, we have only around 23% only the grads enrollment ratio, but the target is in the year of 2035, they want to see 50% of the grads enrollment ratio and holistic multidisciplinary education flexibilities. So the UG program 3 or 4 years, 3 years in the sense only degree, 4 years in the sense one more year that counted as the research also will be counted in there. So and MPhil already discontinued. In the credit base, the once if you are doing any work, the credit bank also, academic bank of credit. So whenever you are doing the research, otherwise paper publications, otherwise some other work or internship, that will be added as your credit in your account, academic account. So if you are discontinued from the second year, if you are coming after 2 years, your credit account should be there. You can continue. If you are doing one more work, that also will be added in your academic, the bank of credit, right? So if you are going abroad and doing that course, that credit also will be able to comes to the same account, just like the consolidated account. So that also that is one of the plus point in the credit transfer mechanism. Even in the foreign also we can do, and that also will be counted here. And the same way, so this is one statistics taken from MHRD. I mentioned 27.1. That is the present the GER ratio, grass enrollment ratio. But 2035 they wanted to see the 50%. And the major reforms already we discussed, the graded autonomy and facing the affiliation systems of 50 years, and the national mission on mentoring, and independent board of governance, single regulations. This also already we discussed, and other things. Just I am going through this. Any points missing? National Education Technology Program, MHR reminded education, internationalization. Internationalization was one of the point. So here we can invite the various other country students also to our institutes. So such a way our quality, our mechanism also should be enhanced on par with the other the global university. So that is what internationalization. And apart from that, to focus on literature, scientific vocabulary, Indian language. Language is also supposed to be go up. So languages, the ability also should be the promoting. And apart from that, technology also should be used. And knowledge in technology usage also should be promoted to all levels of faculties as well as the students. And this is a timeline. By 2025, they wanted to see the 50%. In the 2030, all HEAs becomes multidisciplinary and positioned well to gradually increase the students' strength to desirable level of 1,000 and above. That is all higher education institutions supposed to have 1,000 students at least. There must be at least one large multidisciplinary higher education institute in each district, at least near to that district. The only educationally sound multidisciplinary and integrated teacher education program shall be in force. So if that institute is not up to the mark, that should be closed. So that is what the meaning. If they are not functioning, they may be shut down. The 4 years integrated BEd course also 4 years, and the HEI, higher education institution, to become the basic qualification for all teachers, and 2035 affiliated colleges to be gradually phased out through a system graduate graded autonomy. All higher education institutes in India become independent self-governing institutions, pursuing innovations and excellence through the graded accreditation and autonomy. All higher education institutions to be incentivized and supported and monitored, mentored, and must be autonomous with the empowered board of governance. All the higher education institutions that are already multidisciplinary institutions by 2030 to have larger student enrollment, preferably in thousands. So this is how their timeline also fixed. I guess within the given time, I made my trial of sharing my knowledge. Any questions? Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your information. Lot of information you have given in a nutshell manner. Of course, the discussing about the national education policy, which will take lot of time and effort, but you have given all the information in a free manner within a time limit. So really it is very informative and useful. I invite anyone participant to give the feedback about this lecture. That is the Dr. A.S. KALYANA lecture. So I invite anyone participant, please come voluntarily and introduce yourself and give your comments about his presentation.
Wonderful presentation, sir. I'll be talking later on, but very lucid, a very complex thing, not to be told only within 15, 20 minutes, but you were very lucid in your presentation. So this is my observation, and I'll be talking afterwards because I'm eager to hear from another very resourceful person, Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir. So now it's over to Paramasivan sir for formally inviting Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir for his deliberation.
Before that, I invite anyone participant to give your feedback about this presentation. Anyone? Participants? Okay, they have mentioned lot of information in the chat box only, but they are not ready to give their opinion. Okay, anyhow, thank you, sir. At the end of the program, we will give our overall observation and feedback about your program.
Yes.
Because one more resource person want to give his lecture. Now I invite Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Commerce, Periyar University, Salem. He is one of the well-known personality in the field of commerce and management. He has rich experience, very particularly in marketing. He is also associate with the Indian Academic Researcher Association and also Indian Accounting Association. He is the treasurer of Indian Accounting Association Salem branch and also the treasurer of Indian Academic Researcher Association, All India Treasurer, and also a state president of Indian Academic Researcher Association, Tamil Nadu. Apart from that, he is very active in academic and research activities. He is also one of the pillar of IARA. He is always concerned and cooperate and support to the development of Indian Academic Researcher Association for organizing this kind of program. So really I am very happy to be invite our own resource person, Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir, to offer your valuable information relating to the National Education Policy 2020, focusing on research. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening, one and all present here. I thank Professor Purnamdar and Professor Paramasivan, the two pillars of Indian Academic Researchers Association, for having invited me to take part in this program. Without the contribution of Professor Purnamdar and Professor Paramasivan, these kind of things are not all possible. From the first wave of the COVID pandemic, we started our activities through online mode. Still we are continuing a lot of programs, a lot of FDPs, a lot of conferences, international conferences. So this program also very much useful for the academicians to know about how the NEP 2020 deals with and what are the things they are going to be updated to know about further. So by this, once again I thank Professor Purnamdar and Professor Paramasivan. My area of discussion is NEP focusing on research. Sir, is it visible?
Yeah, now only it is. Yeah, now only it is presenting, sir. Not yet.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Professor KALYANA rightly pointed about various information and various input about National Education Policy 2020 and its various dimensions and aspects. So which are all very important, and as an academician we are supposed to know everything about all those things. Here I am going to focus about NEP 2020, particularly on research. First of all, you should know why there is need of national education policy. As per the current scenario, as per the current education policy which we are having, it was implemented during the year 1986. As per the 86 policy, the thing is lack of accessibility to higher education institutions. I mean, to know about to lower enrollment rate. Professor KALYANA rightly pointed out that during the year 2035, it should be around 50%. GER, gross enrollment ratio, should be achieved. This is one of the main motive and main aim of MHRD. Moreover, as per the current system, we are looking for, or we are dealing with the specialization process. Specialization is okay, but it will be applicable for some people under to some extent only. But the specialization, apart from the specialization process, if you are bringing to the multidisciplinary concept, definitely it will be helpful for the student community to learn and know about various subjects and various knowledges. Ultimately, the purpose of higher education is to enrich the knowledge or knowledge enrichment process. It may be happened, and it will be helpful for the students to get the employment opportunity, or they can develop their self-employment skills and overall that is called professional skill. That is more important. The new education policy enhances all those things in a proper manner. And particularly in colleges now, we are the thing, all the promotional and incentive and increment matters are dealing with our seniority. But national education policy curtails all those things. It is completely based on performance-based measures. In colleges, particularly some of the universities and the colleges, the emphasis on research is very little. But NEP exclusively focusing on the research and how it should be done, and what are all the things to be considered for developing research in a holistic manner. The major problem currently we are facing in higher education is the educational ecosystem is not appropriate, disjoined. So we are having a lot of system. We are students who are studying commerce may not know about history, economics, or mathematics, or other science groups. So through the multidisciplinary aspect, these problems may be rectified or eliminated. Here we are all thinking about getting marks. Mark is the only factor which proves the skill of the student. But here we are focusing about the development of cognitive skill. That is called thinking skills. The subject should be thoroughly understood by the way of various inputs by the faculty members and the researchers, and it will helpful for the students to know and learn the subject in a most comprehensive and elaborate manner. And moreover, in India, particularly in rural area, there is no proper that is called system. There is no proper infrastructure and a system for getting education to all the people. But this thing is totally, removed by the implementation of, developing higher education institutions in rural area, particularly as far as at par with IIT and IIMs. Here, the autonomy is the most important one. As per the 1986 policy, the autonomy for the teachers and education is very less. But here, as per the current policy, the National Education Policy 2020, they are totally focusing about the individual autonomy by the way of developing, it is called teaching, research, and that is called extension activities. The governing body, the government, totally the suboptimal governance, the educational institutions and the education system is totally, already I told that, disjoined and something clumsiness is there. But here they are focusing about good governance by the way of providing all kind of necessary infrastructure and governing bodies. as per the new 2020, they are going to implement a lot of governing bodies exclusively for the academic development, research, curriculum development, and so on. So those bodies will be helpful for the academic institutions and the students community for the development of the academic and research. As per the current scenario, the undergraduate status of the undergraduate education, the status of the college education is very poor in standard. It should be rectified, and it should be improved further to the development of knowledge enhancing process. The fundamental principles of the policy is recognizing, identifying, and developing the unique capability of each student. Each and every student, they may have individuality, they may have some individual capacity, and they may have some independent or some caliber and some knowledge. It should be developed further, and it will be helpful for them to find the proper employment opportunity, or they can find the proper skill to get experience and expertise in the particular field of their interest. That is most important one. Then one more thing is achieving foundational literacy and numeracy. This is still lacking in everywhere, particularly from the Anganwadi to higher education. Everybody working for or learning for or studying for getting good marks. Through the marks, they can get some kind of employment opportunities here and there. You know that few years back, the computer science is the only course. Many of the students or many of the parents, they force the watch to study computer science and other things, but few years back, total the computer science education was devastated, and many IT companies, they send back the employees to the home for to the retrenchment process. These kind of things should be avoided by the way of regulating the academic system in a proper manner, by the way of balancing total curriculum in a proper manner. The flexibility, academic flexibility. Here, the new educational policy totally focusing on academic flexibility. A student wanted to get, a commerce student, he wanted to know about maths, mathematics. He can discontinue the course here, and he can join mathematics. And after completing mathematics, he can rejoin the commerce course. His career points will be retained. That will be helpful for the student to get 2 degrees. And one more thing also, they are focusing towards the dual degree program. So that also helpful for the students to learn about various subjects simultaneously, and it will be helpful for the students to get employment opportunity, whatever the field they wanted to go for. Here there is no hard separation between arts and science. As per the current scenario, as per the world education policy, arts and science or humanities and science are associated. There is a separation, but here there is no separation. There is no separation, or it will be with anybody can study any curriculum or any discipline. Yes, sir. Yes. Any questions?
No, sir. No, you can proceed, sir.
Okay. The multidisciplinary concept already told that is the need of the hour. Through the multidisciplinary education, everybody can understand the interested and extra subjects. The NEP 2020 focusing on more conceptual understanding. This is the very important aspect. It will root out the students. That is called just memorizing, reading the paper, memorizing and omitting in the paper, in the examination paper. These kind of things will be avoided, because through the way of conceptual understanding, by the proper pedagogy, they can understand each and every aspect of the subject content. For example, I'm a commerce teacher. Many of the commerce students, postgraduate students, they doesn't know anything about what is commerce, what is trade, what is accounting, what is marketing. The simple questions, they don't know the meaning, but through this system, they can understanding the basic concept of the subject and the definitions. So it promotes the creativity and the critical thinking. This is very important. Creativity and the critical thinking will be helpful for the student to know about the current scenario and what are all the new things, what are all the new technicalities and the aspects of the subjects, which will be helpful for developing their skill and the knowledge. Even research also it is promoted nowadays, and ethics and the human constitutional. Professor KALYANA clearly told that the examination system should be revamped, and also, he was comparing the old system and the current system. So the ethics should be followed. Already we are having NAR, and so many ranking parameters to develop and promote the higher education system in a proper manner. These kind of things will be helpful for maintaining and creating ethical aspects in human and constitutional aspects. And language, our language to protected this national education policy, promoting the language and the multilingualism aspects in various aspects. Apart from that, here they are motivating the students through developing the life skills. This is the very important aspect. In many of the schools and the colleges nowadays, they never teach anything about the life skills. Just teaching the subjects, like the students can, making up and they're reproducing in the paper, but there is no way for skills required for running the life. The new education policy promoting the life skills also, and extensive use of technology. The pandemic era, during the pandemic, we came to know about a lot of technology, which are all very important. In future, all the academicians supposed to be very, very technology oriented. Then only they can teach the subject and they can, face the students in various aspects, because technology, the new world, definitely ruled by the technology. So technological upgradation and to know the technology, learn the technology, implementing the technology is the most important. It is the need of the hour. Respect for diversity and respect for all local context. So this is also very important, as we know very well that in all the colleges and academic institutions, they are focusing towards they're focusing and preparing the curriculum and the syllabus based on the local requirement. It should be implemented, because in each and every area, each and every region, they are having the each one of which has a individual aspect and individuality and individual thinking and individual commercial activities and so on. And full equity and inclusion, this is also important one. So everybody will be, free-handed towards to know the new things and to adopt it in academic aspects. And apart from that, autonomy, good governance and the empowerment. This is also very important to know, learn, and that is called the empower. So empowerment is the important aspect, because by the way of empowering a faculty, only the students can be empowered. It will be possible by the way of autonomy and good governance. Then outstanding research. This is the point which I am going to focus. And continuous systematic review and systematic scrutiny and evaluation process is the most important. Definitely it will be implemented by the national education policy. Because by the way of review only, the performance may be evaluated and reviewed. Based on the performance only, the promotional and other aspects will be ensured. Then here the main core topic which I am going to discuss is focus on research. A central body named National Research Foundation will be created to build a strong research culture and a research capacity across different domains in higher education. So as per the current scenario, we are following the UGC regulations. But as per the view of National Education Policy 2020, they are going to, create a central body, which is National Research Foundation, which will deal with all about research, and it will deal with developing the research culture and other aspects. Here they are focusing main about multidisciplinary culture, and institutions supposed to offer professional education. So the research should be based on multidisciplinary. For example, there is a focus on standalone technical universities, health science universities, legal and agricultural universities. So these kind of universities will be promoting multidisciplinary aspects of research. It is need of the hour because the commerce man cannot, move apart from that economics and management. If anybody wanted to perform or they wanted to conduct a research in association with the science or other area of research, here there is a possibility, and it will be helpful for the researchers to know the new dimensions and where there is a possibility of developing new concepts and theories, which will be helpful for the researcher, the institution, and the nation for the further development. So we go to think different. We go to find a new approach. We go to find new concepts and theories. If it is possible, definitely there will be a way for promoting our research in a global manner. The next one is we go to strengthen the research system. Based on the recommendations of NRF, that is called the National Research Foundation, it is a system based on the umbrella structure through the linkage of research and development, academia and the institutions. There may be a collaboration between academia and the institutions. The researcher can conduct the researches based on the, that is called industry requirement. Industry requirement. What are all the research we are conducting now? What are all the research paper we are producing now? Everything based on our own concepts and the theories based on the previous review of literature. We don't know anything about the exact requirement of the industry. We are sending the students for project work and internship to the industries to get the degree only. But as per the current concept of National Education Policy 2020, there should be a linkage between academia and industry. We go to develop or we go to, create a memorandum of understanding between industry and academic institutions. Through that memorandum of understanding, the researches can be done because through the MOU, the academic institutions can understand what are all the requirements of the industries. Based on that, the researches can be done, and also the graduates can be produced according to the job requirement of industries. It may happen by the way of developing a proper research ecosystem. Then we got to create the NEP 2020 create conducive environment. That is called a favorable environment to innovate or to develop the integrity in research by the way of developing standards, protocols, and policies in research organizations. So each and every organization, they have to be very cautious and they have to be very sincere and they have to be very dedicated in developing standards, protocols, and the policies, which enhances the superior quality of the research by the way of integrating all kind of research activities in the most comprehensive, the most imperative aspect of every education institution, particularly research institutes. Then freedom of research. Here, you know very well, there is no proper freedom for the research scholars to reveal the main aspect is killing their curiosity and the perfect understanding. Or what about the innovative mind? We got to bring the innovative mind, innovative curiosity, and the innovative critical thinking of the researchers, and we got to promote it by the way of developing a research culture, by the way of developing and promoting a research culture. Freedom has to be given to the research scholars to ask questions about what are all the problems faced by them while conducting the research. Totally, here our researchers are basically based on previous concepts and theories. There is no scope for innovation. There is no scope for individual critical thinking. It should be eliminated. We got to give room or we got to create an ample opportunity for them to reveal about their concepts, theories, and own understanding of the particular problem which they are dealing with. Then assessment and accountability. The most important and critical thinking. As far as research is concerned nowadays, is completely dealing with the getting degree. Getting either MPhil abolish it now in the PhD degree, getting guides it, everything will be over. And they are going for, guiding other PhD scholars and the research students. But each and every research should be come with some assessment accountability by the way of intellectual property rights, by the way of permitting the research scholars to retain IPR, because the research is an innovation by the researcher, and it will be a new idea, it may be a new product, or it may be a new service, or it may be a new, that is called concepts. It may be protected by the way of attaining intellectual property, by the way of getting patent or copyright and so on. So it should be promoted and enhanced by the academic institutions to to create the concept of assessment and accountability. There are no age limit for mentors. This the NEP 2020 is promoting. Actually, 65 retirement will be offered. The faculty members they just going for rest. But here they will be permitted to serve as a mentors and applying for funding for as long as they can active and add a value for the institutions where they work. Here many of the research supervisors will be eliminated. As far as us, if they are active in research and other developmental activities, they may be permitted to work for the institutions. Even in India, one of the IIT already implemented this particular concept. The expertise and the experience will be helpful for the institutions and the country to go for new researches, new ideas, and it will be help research ecosystem. Committee will be there. The committee will cover everything about research proposals. Even if needed, the proposal may be sent to the foreign countries for evaluation. After system of that is called verifying by the expert panel, which provides will be provided with the funding agencies. So the system will be changed or altered according to the current, making strong higher education institutions. The degree programs will be left with only colleges. The higher education institutions like universities, IIT and IIM, they are looking for research. So this is one of the important and need of the hour, because in every college, every higher education institution, every IIT and IIM, IAS, they are performing both undergraduate activities, postgraduate activities and research activities. Here they are focusing towards the undergraduate will be dealing with it will be dealt with by the colleges, and higher education will be looking after everything about research, where we can find research, proper research culture and research outcome and the multidisciplinary approach. By the way of multidisciplinary approach in education system, the analytical and the critical thinking of the research scholars will be developed, even in the early age. That's why the multidisciplinary approach, they wanted to perform from the undergraduate education. If a student with multidisciplinary skill, his research also may be towards the multidisciplinary aspect. That multidisciplinary concept will be helpful for finding or innovate or initiate new things, concepts and the theories. It may be helpful for the development of the nation at large. And the final one is international interaction. The research supervisors are supposed to have tie-up or they have collaboration with the foreign universities, particularly in science field. If a student who is conducting research in engineering and technology here, if the research supervisor is having collaboration with the foreign laboratories and foreign technical institutions, it will be helpful for the students to learn about that is called new things in the foreign countries, particularly with the developed countries. because some of the we are having something lacking in laboratories here. Some technological universities and institutions, they can go, research scholars and even research supervisors, they can go to abroad and they can learn something new, and it will be helpful for the development of research culture. So this is most important. This is and it will be helpful for the researchers and research culture and research initiative at large in the developing countries like India. So by focusing on those things, national education and policy wanted to promote research in a good aspect through the NRF. So these are all some important points which I wanted to discuss, and by this I conclude my discussion. And now the session is, the forum is open for the discussion. Anybody wants any clarification, just ask me and I will clarify all those things.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your brief and prompt presentation about the National Education Policy 2020 focusing on research. Of course, it is one of the everywhere the people are thinking or speaking about the research, but what is the what is the contribution of the academic research to the real society is very it is one of the very important questions. So as a researcher or as a research supervisor, demolish the research culture, or why you want to discourage the people to do the research in a conventional manner? Really, as a academicians, as a faculty member, we must think about the research. You rightly said, now the people are doing research only for getting the employment. After complete the PhD, they said, I inputs to the society or to the economy or to any one group, peer group. Then only this research will be intellectual property. Otherwise, this will be only the documents. That means this is the paper documents, which will not useful to anyone. So that you have given a very good and detailed information in this presentation. Thank you, sir. Now I invite any questions or any feedback from the participants. If you have any clarifications, you may raise questions, because you have given the detailed information about the research, focusing on research in higher education.
Someone asked about, is it necessary to introduce national education policy?
Yeah.
Is it necessary or not? It is implemented.
Yeah.
The truth is, it is implemented.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Now I invite
one more thing. Wait a minute, sir. One more thing. Mr. Srikanth Rachoda. I am opposing NEP 2020 and the presentation super at the same time analyze deeply. Without the experience, we cannot analyze. Now we are exploring the concepts and contents which are all available in the NEP 2020. It will take some years to analyze all the concepts of NEP. For the kind of information, Mr. Srikanth.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So now I invite our Honorable All India General Secretary Dr. Pranamda to offer vote of thanks and also give your overall feedback about this about today programs.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paramasivan sir. But first of all, before offering hearty vote of thanks, first personally and on behalf of IARA, I thank Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir for a lucid presentation, like Dr. KALYANA for the research part, that is the vision of national education policy towards enhancing more and more research. And lots of master degree students were known to me. They are present here, and lots of teachers, lots of educators, lots of budding researchers and senior researchers present. So both Dr. KALYANA sir and Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir were very lucid in their presentation, and I think there should not be any hurdle to face. although there are some critical issues. Mr. Rajkonda, Dr. Rajkonda, from the initiation, he is saying I am opposing national education policy. It's not the question of voting that you oppose or you are with national education policy. It's not the question that you are with implementation of GST or the opposition of GST. It will happen. It has already came into parliament and it is going for the implementation. So we have to cope up with the system. Now, before formally offering vote of thanks, formal vote of thanks, I am raising certain issues on behalf of Dr. Rajkonda and others. Dr. Paramasivan sir and resource persons, please don't mind. There is a issue raised by some people that the chancellor will not be from the center saint, that is the president saint, president nominated, president appointed chancellor will not be there in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and in West Bengal. And definitely there are some issues coming that the chancellor will be from the state and the head of state may act as the chancellor. Accordingly, in West Bengal, we all know that some bill is going to be implemented very soon. But the answer to the question is, when you don't have any chancellor from center, it may happen that center, that is UGC is a center-driven body, they will be opposing and the funds coming from UGC through the approval of the central government, and there may create some situation that all the funds they are stopped because there is a center-state reigning issue. There is a center-state proportion issue. So I am only raising the issues, no, not the political issue, but I am raising the issue. Secondly, Dr. KALYANA, I am just linking. You have already started your presentation with Bologna, University of Bologna. So we all know that the Bologna system was prevalent. That is 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. This was the system. From there, we moved to choice-based credit system, that is the semester system, which is known as American system. That is, you do integrated degree in one institution for long. From there, we transform to credit transfer system. But is it really worthy? Theoretically, it is there that one person from West Bengal doing 2 semesters can transfer credit to Periyar University. I am asking to KRISHNAKUMAR sir, is it really worthy? From any small university of West Bengal, suppose some person is going to transfer his credit in Periyar University or Bharatiya University, is it practically worthy? It is theoretically very true that you can transfer your credit, but then the question will arise, how much rich was your course and how much rich is your knowledge? In case of PhD is also the same thing. Suppose from one university, now want to do his or her research work in another university. Suppose from India, he or she wants to move because the credit transfer system is available, so he or she wants to move to one foreign university. Is it worthy that one person doing coursework into continue his research in Harvard School of Business? Is it practicable? So there are certain theoretical issues, and now national education policy is saying that after 4 years you will be given PhD degree. Only after 3 years graduation, or after completing 4th year, you will be given the PhD degree. Then a question arises that after 5 years graduation, that means 2 plus 3, 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. That means 5 years graduation, 2 years post-graduation, half years coursework, and 1.5 years preparation for pre-submission seminar. All are in vogue. They were police efforts previously. So why we are moving for this shortcut? Now another thing, we are trying to go for the blended mode, and lots of computer literacy, lots of MOOCs, everything is being said. My very, very, very humble question is, during the last 50 years, can you name only one person who got the Nobel from any Indian university? Maybe from Indian origin, but any person, please, all the participants name any one. We are talking about digitization, we are talking about literacy, we are talking about knowledge enhancement, we are talking about triple bottom line approach, above all we are talking about sustainability. Can you name a single person who has got the Nobel Prize from any Indian university, any Indian IIM, IIT, and so on? Then we are talking all about excellence on the one hand. On the other hand, we are talking about gross enrollment ratio. What a foolish approach. We are not talking about net enrollment ratio. Very sorry. Let me be very frank, because this is a discussion floor. I believe no person has any ego, only discussion. We are talking on one hand on qualitative research, on multidisciplinary research, on good output with good industry practices, good industry collaboration. Definitely it is very good. For the NAC purpose, for NIRF ranking, for other ranking, it is very good. Because NEP now matches with NIRF and NAC practices. So there will be excellent. But why not we are talking about net enrollment ratio? Why we are talking about gross enrollment ratio? So quantity will increase on the one hand. One teacher, he or she will forget about 1:20, 1:25 ideal teacher-student ratio, and we will talk about gross enrollment ratio increasing. One teacher with microphone with 500 students in his or her class. And on the other hand, in case of research, we are just thinking about this pipelining, that lots of students you take and only 2 or 3 will come out with research and they will be the boss. So are we education mafia? Are we creating new mafias? That is, power will be on one hand. For becoming vice chancellor, you have to give 25 crores, 30 crores for becoming vice chancellor. For chancellor, you have to give, very sorry, I think recording is not on. I don't bother, because my age is 50, I will live for another 5-10 years, so I don't bother, I need nothing. So when the discussion is there, open discussion should be there. What are we heading on? What are we heading on? Excellence, grasping of power, and we'll be happy or unhappy to know that it is found that national education policy is copied and pasted from 2-3 countries' education policy. So at the highest level, we are talking about plagiarism, we are talking about similarity, we are talking about integrity. Then when one policy is being copied and pasted from 2-3 other policies of other countries, then how does it matches? How does it match with the overall vision? One question from one participant I have seen. We are very satisfied with the present education policy. Then why we are moving to the next education policy? Next question, same question is of mine. Why you are moving? In health, you see in all over the world, we are fighting for 3 items. Medical items, defense items, and petrol and petroleum items. And 4th pillar is education system. And education system drives the other 3. That is, one is defense, another is petroleum, another is healthcare. So education is driving the other 3 factors, and these 4 forces together is exploiting or deploying, or what you can say, different countries all over the world. 2 countries are in war. Third country is not saying, World Trade Organization or United Nations is not saying that please stop the war. It says that we are with you. Sometimes it says that third country is saying that we are with X, and 4th country is saying that we are with Y, because the price of defense products has to be increased, and from that some profiteering has to be made by some other countries. And when one country is grasping defense product, other country is grasping on healthcare product, third country is grasping on petroleum product, and some countries are grasping on education product. Since 2015-16, we have seen that this online system was there. It is nothing new that pandemic only caused this online education system. And lots of students are still there who know very well that we are doing nothing. In spite of that, what is meant by open book examination? Open book examination is something different. In law, we see open book examination. That you open the book from starting to end, you will get nothing. You are not able to write the answer even after opening the book, because the questions are practical questions. So this should be the examination. But what we mean nowadays by open book system, that we are opening the book and some 5 questions are given, we are opening the book and giving the examination. So ultimately the people very courageous sentence I'll end with, because it is going for 2 hours. So ultimately, the power game is on, and the power game is on without applying the brain. We are applying our head, we are applying our heart, we are applying our body, but not our brain. Only cutting, copying, and pasting some policies of some countries does not make India a developed country. Very sorry to say. It will develop only when we apply our brain. I was listening very carefully to Dr. KALYANA Kumar and Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR. If these type of brains could be utilized, even the brain of Dr. Paramasivan sir, we are a very small organization, but we think very in-depth thinking we are having. If this type of thing would have been with the politicians, administration, economic policy making, then I think real fruit could be enjoyed. Otherwise, it is a mess. This new education policy having 4 facets could not explain some of the issues which are the real ones. That means, on one hand, Paramasivan sir has very rightly said that academicians are doing research for the industry, which are garbage in and garbage out for the industry, because industry has a research and development department separately, and they are engaging people for the real world research, and the theoretical research for getting Ph.D. degree and other awards is of no use to the industry. So why the research is going on? Even I am taking one simple example. One PhD guide is giving 5-6 names. He or she knows that out of these 5-6 names, 2 names will be ticked by the Vice Chancellor. Why? Why not a data bank about 50-60 people from which one Vice Chancellor could tick? Why at the highest degree like PhD, everything is known to the examiner and in other way known to the scholar? Why this system could not be changed? We are talking about the limit of the age of the mentor. At present, there is no age limit, because directly or indirectly, the mentor in one form or the other, in the selection committee or in the adjudication panel or in other names, he or she is everywhere. So where is the change? Where is the change? Some new names, some bodies are formed with new names with the old composition. So where is the change? My big question is, where is the change? Anyway, the debate is never ending. And what my little education helps me to understand, I have already shared with you. Very bitter things, very sorry. Because this is our habit in West Bengal, specifically, to start with the bitter items, and then we end with the sweet items at the end in our food habit. So that happened here. The sweet items were the items placed by, I think the reverse thing happens in Tamil Nadu. Dr. Paramasivan sir will answer that here we start with sweet items and end with some sour items. I think that is the case, and that really happened. We started with the sweet item presented by Dr. KALYANA Kumar sir. Before that, very sweet items presented by Dr. Paramasivan sir. And after that, some khatta meetha items, not very sweet and not very sour items were placed by Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir. And ultimately, very bitter things are shared by me, very sour things are shared by me. But what about the participants? I see Dr. Srikant. Yes, you were putting lots of questions, and you had the courage to say, yes, I have seen one feature film known as Nayak. I think we have all seen it. So that makes a revolution in the Indian political and administrative system. So I am just joking. Don't take it otherwise. So these type of people like Dr. Srikant and others are there. Definitely our cumulative effort of the sweet, sour and bitter and then some other things will add flavor. And that is the real need of the hour, and that is the real effort of Indian Academic Researchers Association and Indian Accounting Association Tiruchirappalli branch, that is putting all those things into one basket and presenting in such a way that these 2 hours brainstorming will help all the researchers, budding researchers, educators, implementers, and If some other person if they are not deaf and dumb, some administrators will also listen here from here, and definitely some impact will be created. So that is the vision of IARA and Indian Accounting Association Tiruchirappalli branch, with which we have been accumulated. So first of all, from our heartfelt regards and gratitude goes on behalf of organizers, both the organizers, IARA and Indian Accounting Association Tiruchirappalli branch, to Dr. KALYANA, and then our next resource person. I cannot call them resource person; they are treasures. So Dr. KALYANA, very good temperament. You are a good opener in the cricket. If we call you a opener, now you are called batter. A batter with a good temperament, a very good opener. And then one hard hitter came, but before that some slog overs were there. That is really faced by Dr. Paramasivan sir. And after that, the hard hitter Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir came with his bunches of very valued deliberation on research, impact of NEP on research, and sometimes the odd men out. We cannot imagine about them like Dr. Srikant and others. They added flavor. They added some fours and sixes, and that makes the match very worthy. So heartfelt regards and gratitude to Dr. KRISHNAKUMAR sir as well. Dr. Paramasivan sir, our All India President of Indian Academic Researchers Association, and also the General Secretary of founder President of Indian Accounting Association Tiruchirappalli branch, and also Dr. Srikant, and all the participants, and specifically those who put the questions to make it lively, and to those also, because listening is an art. There is a difference between hearing and listening. All the listeners, the audience who are present here, to make it lively, because noise creates distraction. They created no noise. That is so disciplined audience of IARA and Indian Accounting Association Tiruchirappalli branch. So heartfelt regards and gratitude on behalf of organizers and on my personal behalf to you all. And already feedback link has been shared. Now I very sorry for taking much time. I am feeling that I am becoming old because I am talking a lot, which is of no use. So without wasting much time, I am handing it over to Dr. Paramasivan sir for his valued summing up and concluding remarks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your feelings. Really, your feelings reflect the the system of education in India. We can understand your intention is to promote our education system in a global standard. Of course, we join together to do something for the betterment of the research and academic activities in future. I hope we will all do something. Of course, we are the small organization. We have very limited number of members. Office bearers and resource persons are very active and effective. Definitely we can change something in the education in future. With this web, with your permission, I end this session and this program. We hope we will again meet another program very soon. Thank you, one and all present here, very particularly on behalf of Dr. Pranamdar and all our beloved participants. Really, I am happy the participants from various states from in this country, because this is the only program we received participants from various 30 minutes. So after that it will be closed. So thank you one and all, and good night to all. Thank you, sir.
Very good night to all. Have a nice time. Thank you all. Thank you.
So with your permission, I end the meeting.